So for those of you who missed the calculator, either because you were lucky enough to miss 8th period or because you were absent, to run through how to enter matrices on your calculator, why we need to be able to do that to solve these matrix equations that we had talked about in class. So just quick refresher, in class we'd looked at this system. It is in your Springboard book on page 48. So we looked at this system and we talked about how we can break that down into this matrix equation that is made up of A, matrix A, which is the coefficient matrix, matrix X, which is the variable matrix, and matrix B, which is the constant matrix. And we talked about how, since we don't have matrix division, to get the variable matrix alone, we can't divide by matrix A. So instead, we multiply by matrix A's inverse. So in order to do that, we need to know how to enter matrices into our calculator. And the app that I got this summer, I couldn't figure out how to run on my computer. So next best thing, here is a picture of the TI-84. So in order to enter matrices on your calculator, and it does have the directions for this in lesson 3.3 in your book. So if you forget and don't want to come all the way back to the video, on page 43, it does talk you through which buttons you need to press in order to enter those types of things. So the matrix menu you get to by pressing the second button, which is usually blue. On some older models it's yellow. But you're going to press second, and then you're going to press this button right here that looks like it says x to the negative first power. That actually isn't x to the negative first power, it's x inverse. But the reason we press that button is because, see above here in blue it says matrix. So everything we do with matrices, we're going to be pressing second x inverse to get to the matrix menu. So when you press that, you should see in that matrix menu, you should see 3 columns at the top. It says names, and then it says math, and then it says edit. So right now, I want you to use your right scroll arrows to go over to edit. And when you do that, it'll look pretty much the same as it did in the first column where you were under the names category, but you're going to see number 1, matrix A, and it might even have something to the right of that. If it doesn't, that's okay. It'll say number 2, matrix B, so on and so forth, all the way down. So what we are going to do right now is we are going to enter matrix A and matrix B into your calculator. So we're going to do A first. So if you're in the edit screen, to select matrix A to edit, you're going to press number 1. So press number 1, and then it should go to a screen where it says, so after you've selected number 1, then you should see on your screen it says matrix A, and then next to it, it might have some numbers here, but it's got the by symbol in the middle. And then you should see some little brackets down here. This is the spot where you have to start when you're entering a matrix by telling it what dimensions your matrix has. So we talked about that in class. So this has 2 rows and 2 columns. So we're going to enter 2 and 2. So you can actually just press 2 enter, and it will automatically adjust the size of your matrix so it has a 2 by 2 amount of space. So from this point, now we just need to correctly enter the numbers in there. And again, it works rows first, so if you're going to press enter between, you can also use your scroll arrows to enter them. That's fine also. I usually just use enter because I think it's faster. But I'm going to press 2, enter. Then it's going to scroll over to this one. So then I press 3 and then enter. Then it skips over to row 2, column 1, press 1 and then enter. And then -4, enter. So you should now in your matrix entry screen have something that looks like this. Once you have that, go ahead and press second matrix again, so second, and then that same button we pressed, scroll over to edit again, and this time choose matrix B, because now we're going to edit the second matrix, matrix B, which is this one. So dimensions on matrix B as you're in the edit screen. Your screen should look like this, and possibly some brackets depending on if you already had something in there or not. So we need to put in the dimensions. So this one again, it's got 2 rows, 1 column. So you're going to put 2 enter, 1 enter, and then it should give you the correct size. And then we just need to fill in our entries. So fill in 7 first, then press enter, and then press -2 and press enter. So we have now correctly entered our matrices. Now, again, this guy was 2 by 2, this was 2 by 1. You could, if you wanted, multiply these matrices because if we have a 2 by 2 and a 2 by 1, the middles match. So if you wanted to practice doing matrix multiplication here, because you will need to be able to do that in your homework, if you want to multiply the matrices, first hit second mode, which is quit, to get back to the main home screen. And then go back, because if you want to multiply matrices, you have to tell it what matrices you're multiplying. So you go back to the matrix screen, second matrix, but instead of scrolling over to the edit menu, we've already edited them. They're already input in our calculator. So to multiply, you're always under the names screen, and you choose whichever matrix you want to start with. So we wanted to start with matrix A. So you choose choice 1, and then it'll automatically go back to the home screen and show you matrix A like this. So then on your home screen, press the multiplication button. Then I need to tell it matrix B. So in order to do that, go back to the matrix menu. So second matrix button, and this time choose number 2, matrix B. So you should on your home screen have something that looks like this. When you do that and you press enter, it should give you an answer. And hopefully you get the same one as me, which is 815. So that's just an example of how you can input matrix multiplication. Now, back to our matrix equation. We said that we need to be able to multiply by A inverse. So A inverse, we probably should find that first. And that's where we are if you are looking at page 46. No. Sorry, looking for it here. It is on section 3-4. It's question number 5. So we're on page 48. Sorry, took me a minute to find it. So on page 48 in your book, it asks you, what is A inverse? So we're going to record A inverse there. Here is how you come up with it. So to get A inverse, you're going to start exactly the same as we started out with multiplication. You're going to name matrix A, so press second and matrix and choose matrix A so that you get something that looks like this. Then you're actually going to press this button, so the one that's 2 below the alpha button, and then you're going to press enter. So if you input your matrix A correctly, when you do that, you get something that looks kind of like this, 0.3636, so on and so forth, repeating. 0.0909, repeating. And you can kind of see like maybe a 0.2 and then a negative 0.1, and then you see this little like arrow thing. That arrow means that if you scroll right, you can see more of the answer. But regardless of whether you scroll right or not, that's really messy because those are repeating decimals. And hopefully you remember from way back in the day that if decimals end or repeat, that means that they are rational, meaning they can be written as a fraction. We would like our answer to be in fraction form. So what you need to hit now, don't clear your screen, just hit the math button. So now you're going to hit math. And you're going to choose choice 1, so you'll hit number 1, which should then show you something that looks like this, ANS caret fraction. So press enter, and it should nicely convert your inverse matrix into fraction form. So in your book, under number 5, you can record that this is 4/11ths, 3/11ths, 1/11th, and -2/11ths. Now, we needed A inverse because on this matrix equation, if we multiply A by its inverse, we discussed that that's going to cancel out. So the variable matrix will be alone. On this side, A inverse we know is a 2 by 2 because we just found it and wrote it down. B, this one, is a 2 by 1. Remember that the order matters. When we are doing this, the order is important. So you have to do A inverse times B, not the other way around, because the middles have to match. So on your calculator screen, you've still got this guy. If you just press times, it should do this. If you've already cleared it by accident, that's okay. You can go back up to this step and retype in, choose matrix A, press that X to the negative first key so that it looks like A inverse, and then press times. But either way, whichever route you went here, you now need to press times matrix B. So you have to select matrix B. We've already put it in to our calculator in the first step. So second matrix, choose number 2, which is matrix B, and then press enter. And hopefully, when you do that, regardless whether you typed it in just like this or like this, you should come up with something that looks like this, which is the answer to number 6 in your book on page 48. That is the product of A inverse and B. So number 7 is the most important part. Make sense of the problem. What are the values of x and y in variable matrix X? So this is the solution for variable matrix X. So because variable matrix X is equal to this and variable matrix X looked like this, that means that X equals 2 and Y equals 1. And the reason is because these two are now equivalent. And so top equivalent to top, bottom equivalent to bottom. So all of this matrix equation business can solve this 2 by 2 system that we started with for us. And again, on a 2 by 2, it's probably less work to just solve it by hand, but it is nice to have a method to check your answers. It is especially nice to have a method to check your answer on a 3 by 3. So You should be caught up as far as all the information that you need to complete your homework in lessons 3.3 and 3.4.